Okay, so these are the 3 chicken that I sketched yesterday in this order. And I'm quite pleased with them in general, especially the one in the middle, but also this one here. I think I was getting a bit tired and I messed up the perspective and whatever. But still. I think I really got a good thing going here with this, with the clarity of the shadow shape and it also being a beautiful shape. Like there's something about the flow in here that I really like. I don't think the camera picks up on the nuances of the brush strokes, at least not down there. The face is kind of absurd, but focusing on the body before doing the face and not getting bogged down so much in the details of the face. Fuck, now I messed up the camera focus, whatever. Yes, not getting bogged down so much in the details of the face, I think has been really good. Camera here, focus. And somehow I even find the faces a bit, in some ways, more satisfying in these. Like the level of detail fits with the rest of the image in a way that it doesn't when I actually focus on the faces too much. In this one, it's actually, I mean, the face is quite a bit more detailed than the rest of the image. But there's a gradation to that, also to the contrast, so that the feet, they almost kind of disappear, like they merge into the background. And the higher up it goes, the more intense the contrast becomes. And the head, at least in person, it really pops out of the image. And of course, the highlight on the eye is doing a lot of work in there as well. But there's a real feeling of this head and the neck coming forward, and thus the whole chicken existing in space more than in some of the other images. So that's nice. And at some point, hopefully, the camera will focus again. Yeah, I enjoyed that the background is so colorful in the reference, and playing with that almost makes it more of an ornamental image because of the red and white, and then the red of the skin flaps again. Yeah, I think they all kind of work in their own way, especially that one. Also this with this nice flow. And so, but I'm also a bit tired now of doing all these whole body chickens. So next chicken will be another head. And the camera has managed to focus again. Nice. The next chicken will be another head close up. And I think that's all I have to say about that. I will still try to prioritize the larger forms rather than the individual details of all the little creases in the skin and all the tiny, tiny feathers in the face and all of that. Those shall not be super important to me unless I have a surprising amount of time left over at the end. Yeah, I think in this one I will start with one large shape, an English red, orange, something like that, for the whole of the head. And then work into that first with the like primary dark shapes, or like first the whole of the head, then the background, then the primary dark shapes, and then I'll see how much time I still have left. If I'm lucky or focused or whatever, I might get to that stage of the first 3 big things on the list in the first 15 minutes. So we'll see. And I've started the timer. Maybe prematurely, who knows? I want a bigger brush for that. Why not be bold? And I haven't pre-mixed my colors today, but I have cleaned my palette and put out a bunch of fresh paint at least, so shouldn't get too bogged down by all the color mixing in this. Adding some light cadmium red to the English red so that it pops a bit more. Maybe a bit of yellow as well. Yeah. With the gouache, stuff always turns out a bit cooler, a bit more bluish, a bit more grayish once it's dry. So I should really get into the habit of just basically overdoing the color while I'm painting. So let's see. Okay, I'm pushing this head quite into the corner here. Might regret that later, but made the beak a bit too thick, too far down. I'm happy about that, but I can correct that when I put in the background. Okay, I think I'm just going to make this basically a bright, glaring, very saturated orange. Not much of the Indian red left anymore. Okay, at least this is a nice, interesting shape. It was almost 5 minutes. Going to put in the background. Just don't think I'm going to. Okay, no, I will. Thought I wasn't going to faff around mixing with the background, but I will. To make it a bit less intense than the ochre straight from the tube would be. Just a little bit. Okay, this is probably going to dry a bit darker than it's looking right now. Trying to take that into account. Okay. So almost 10 minutes in. Quite pleased with this, what this looks like. It's a nice graphic arrangement of shapes and colors on this rectangle now, but also that's the easy part. I could do this all day and just be done with it and say like, oh, I'm just making these simplified chickens and they look really, well, graphic and kind of cool and whatever. But I wouldn't be that satisfying in the long run. Would get bored doing that. Okay, so next up are the shadow shapes. The main dark shadow shapes, and they're quite brutal in this reference. I think it's like golden evening light, direct sunlight. And they're not big. Sun is coming from the front and right. So they're really more, they feel a bit more like lines than shapes, and there's a bit of a risk of ending up drawing rather than painting. Start here. Firstly, it hasn't had time to dry properly yet. So it's going to reactivate quite a bit, probably. Okay, I don't want this to be such a straight line. That would look weird. That's the comb. Comb? Comb? I don't know. Darker edge of the beak, which is more translucent in the tip. So no shadow edge there. And here starts the eye socket, I think. Okay, I'm going to make the whole shape of the eye dark, I think, for now, and then try to work in the light afterwards, or will I? So bright orange, the iris of the eye, that it would be hard to get that if I put in all dark first. I'm not sure if this is really the right placing on that corner of the eye, but it will do. For the sketch. That's definitely the wrong shape. Okay, and we're starting the second set of 15 minutes. Oh, that's quite an eye there. What did I say about not drawing, but thinking in shapes instead? Yeah. Should maybe get back to that. It's a bit tricky with the shadow shapes here because they're broken up by a layer of feathers on top. Also, these skin folds are just too much fun to draw. But I'll try to get back to painting, not drawing, painting. Yeah, if I keep getting caught up in drawing like that, I won't have time to put in the right color for the skin flaps, which would be a shame. Or any of the texture of the feathers. Okay, there's definitely too much space here in somewhere, but no matter. I doing right now? I'm not even entirely sure. Okay, apparently I have started with some of the texture of the feathers. Not sure if that was a good idea or not, but should be doing the skin flaps. I should be doing something else from what I'm doing right now. Okay, most important next thing, I have 8 minutes left, is actually the eye, not even the skin flap. So I'll do the eye, and then I'll do the skin flaps. And if the very unlikely event that I still have any time left after that, I'll get back to the feathers. But I don't think I will. Five minutes left. It's hard to resist the details on this eye. It's just so delicious. Okay. Apparently no highlight on this eye. A bit surprising. 3 minutes left, so let's have a go at the skin flaps. Bright, bright, bright red skin flaps. One minute left. "25 seconds. Ah. And the time is done. I should stop now. I don't wanna. Oh. Okay, I'm going to give myself another minute to do a bit more work on the beak, which started out being too broad in the beginning, and now it's ended up being too narrow. Wow. Extra minute already gone. Okay, I'll leave it there.